I was so discouraged. Could it be, I remember that year, I got to the park that I want to take transport to Benin. I paid, I have my ticket. I was frustrated. The bus full and they left. And I was sitting down there. I have to wait for another bus. I got home like 11 o'clock in the night from Abeokuta to Benin. Me that was in park by 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I go home. My mom was so scared. It was like following me upward to. I'm Austin Osareti Festus, Captain, Rivers United. My nickname, aka Koboko, Sampa, Agada, Tiger, oh plenty. Yes, I think the name Sampan started when I was playing in my youth days. I played for Bokas FC in Benin City. I think there is a player that they call Sampan. I think he has a structure. You know, I have a modern leg. I have a modern. So they named me after that player. So because of my legs, they started calling me Sampan. So that was how Sampan started. Agada is just the opposite of my leg in Benin. In Benin, when they call Agada means that you have a bow leg. So that one was started since I was born, and I came across the name like that, and I started bearing the name from my parents too. I was born into a family of 6 plus my parents, which make it 8. We are 3 boys, 3 girls, and somewhere along the line we lost our dad. I think when we lost our dad, we can't see the other part of life. So I think if my dad was alive, maybe I would have gone be a footballer, because when I was coming up, I was very good in school. But when I lost my dad, due to the love of the game, and I started playing football. So my mom was the one facing all the ups and downs. I think my mom was not in support of me playing football then, because it was difficult for us to feed, and what happened then, it was a big experience in my head, because I noticed it, then in my community, I think my family, it was not nice to my mom, because my father was a young Tanzanian those days. I think he tried for himself, but I can somebody lost his husband, then you accusing the woman that is the one that is responsible for the death of his husband. It was me as a young man, it was not easy for me. I found that memory always refreshing on my brain. So it was a difficult moment for my mom, because they have to seize my father's property, and my mom was the one catering for us. Austin Eguavon come from my community. Being him called Austin, while my name is Austin. And his younger brother do come to my father's house then. My uncle was staying with us. He was a footballer. They do go to one primary school close to us and play football, Iwere Primary School. I was a child. I do go to watch them. I sneak down there to watch them. I was very small. When they come, I see the unity in them, the bond, the fun. I was inspired to always play football. When I was coming up, not that I was very gifted, but I have that passion that I want to play football. So with the name Austin Eguavon in my community, I put it as a thing of privilege, knowing somebody like that I must play football. So it really helps me. I was not serious in school anymore. I was now seeing myself playing football. Then when I'm going to school, I'll go and play football. But it was not easy for me because my mother believed that I am not turning to a wayward child. But I think by the grace of God, I just believe it was that passion that helps me. Then I find myself representing the state as at that time. Under 10 level, I played for my state, representing schools. I remember the very first time I brought Milo, sugar, provisions to the other to my house. Like it was school that gave it to us. My mother looked at me. Wawa mononare. He speaks baby to me like I brought this one home. So from that time, I think my youth coach now came, like he wants to take us to tournament. But due to that provision that I brought home, my mother was afraid, but they have to free me for the youth coach. I went to the tournament. That was my first time of traveling in my life. As a young man, I traveled and I did well, and we now lucky to be invited to state under 13 camp. So then I was not lucky. I couldn't make the first 11, the first 18 that represent Edo State as at that time. It was all over great stars in Benin, like youth, but the 18 that goes to that tournament, I was not lucky to be in the team, but I was with them in the camp. So I feel discouraged. But I think after that time, I stopped going to training, but I was still playing my street football. But somewhere along the line, I found myself in a state team again, representing Edo State in Sport Festival 2000. So I did well, and I played scantily match, but I did well. The national team under 17 coach, then it was Godwin Izile. He looked at me. I said, you have a funny leg, but I think you have a talent. He was making jest of me. You caught me. I look at my leg, very funny leg. But you cannot even imagine that this guy can move, but he's doing well. He penciled me that I will be invited to under 17 camp. So somewhere along the line, I was invited. I went to the camp in Ekwale. They dropped me at the beginning. But somewhere along the line, we went for Abuja for another playoff again. The coach Izile saw me again, invited me again. I now went to meet them in Abeokuta. Going to Angola for the very first game. They want to play in Angola is a qualifier. They dropped me. I was so discouraged. Could it be, I remember that year I got to the park that I want to take transport to Benin. I paid, I have my ticket. I was frustrated. The bus full and they left. And I was sitting down there. I have to wait for another bus. I got home like 11 o'clock in the night from Abeokuta to Benin. Knew that I was in the park by 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I go home. My mom was so scared. It was like following me upward through. So when I got home, I felt bad. My mom looked at me. What she did, she just prayed for me that it was not my chance. May I so rest in peace. She just let me know that my chance will come and I'm going to benefit from this football. So it was 2 days to Christmas. They were at the airport. I think I got a call. I have to report back to camp. I said to myself, being a young man now, so Christmas time, wait I want to go do the sit up there. I said I'm not going. So my late mom, I now spoke to her. Mom, look at these people, don't call me again. No. I said, make I come. I said, but me, I know they go. I don't want anybody make me feel bad. He left me and just said, okay. She went inside. I think it was in the middle of the night. And I came to meet me. He woke me up that tomorrow I will be going to the camp. So that evening, the coach now sent for me. He said, I made a mistake not taking you to that away match. They have a very fast winger that he knows that I have the ability for me to stop that winger. It will not play. He now speak my language to me because he's an Asian man and he speaks Benin. He now tell me, "Why you pull out of Malabia?" And I answer him, sir, a problem in Rosa. I was just waiting for that day to come, like maybe they break me football start. So God so kind, because me I have one ability, I can, no matter your pace, I can go grand and mark you easily. So before you run, I run after you. I run first, then I will go grand. So I did the job perfectly. That guy, they changed that guy immediately. Second half of the game, they just changed the guy. So I was not enjoying the game because the person that they brought, he was just enjoying himself. While me, I was just there, just enjoying. We won that game and we qualify. I'm a kind of person, when I was coming up, when you give me challenges and it triggers me to do beyond what you expect. That's why in my best of time, big games, when it comes to big games, I will do more than what you expect, because it gives me that ginger. I think in this team right now, I'm be the longest serving player. I think like me, for example, I don't look Coach Stanley Guma as my coach anymore. I take him like my sport father. This is the man that he developed me more. I played 14 years of my career with him. 15 years now with him. He knows my game, and there's something I notice about people. You know, Coach Taleguma have done well for himself and for the state, and I see people don't appreciate him, like, you know. But one day I just said, okay, what is really the problem? It's just a thing that is in some of the black people mind. When somebody is long in a place, you see people try to castigate him. But if you come to look at it, it's in the book. Like, Coach Taleguma is one of the most successful football coach. He have won everything. He have won CAF. He have won the league. He have two clubs to, like, tens of Dolphins. We have been playing Continental since years. When we turn to Rivers United, it has been, is always the person that is piloting the result. But when I see coaches, people talk about coaches take bribe, do this, Oga, I go tell you, say, Coach Taleguma no know how to talk about money with player. In own, if you want to be his best friend, just they give a result. They will believe that you are using juju on himself, because once he believe you that you can deliver for him, is you. He's one of the best coach in the local league now, and at the same time he's the longest serving coach. So I think he have done well.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.